All right, so today we're going to be making this here December 1. That is what it looks like. We're going to zoom in here in just a moment. We have our handy dandy ruler. Remember, our 0 lines up with the edge of the paper. We are going so it's longer, so it should read towards the 11 on this side. You're going to go down to the 2 and 3/4. So that's 2 and 3 long tick marks. Same on this side, 2 and 3/4. Remember, it's the 3 long tick marks, or 12 of the small tick marks. You are just drawing your guideline. Now note, this one has extra guidelines, unlike some of the others. Sorry, my camera's doing the autofocus thing. Hopefully it'll get in focus there. You're going to line up, see how there's this on the centimeter side, which is the side that has more numbers. My line it up with the edge of those little tick marks, and extremely lightly draw a guideline. I don't know if you can even see it. Barely can see it, but it's still there. Then on this side, you're taking the numbers and lining them up with the edge of the white. Again, this is just a guideline. What this does is it allows us to make sure that our letters are the exact same height and width for the entire project. We want to make sure of that. Now, we are going to be doing a course down here. Autofocus needs to get kicking in. There it is. We're going to make sure that our letters are spaced correctly. So we have a D down here and an R over here. December is an even number of letters in the month, so we make our mark here in the middle. We're going to have an E here and an M here. We have an E here and a C here, a B here and an E here. Each of the letters are roughly 3/4 of an inch apart. Now we are actually going to be drawing our skeleton letters as always. So we're going to go up here. We do not want our letters to touch all the way at the top because we need that space for the actual drawing. And we're going to draw what looks like a little pregnant belly. Then we're going to be drawing our E. Our E has a little fling like that, and then it looks like a backwards 3. The C, same little curve, just like that. Here's another E. December has lots of E's in its month. M, we're going to have a straight line. Then we're going to have a line that curves down. Connect it with a V. The B, while it does not have all the way down here, it does have this same shape. So here's our mini pregnant belly and our bigger pregnant belly. Here is our last E. And then our R, top part is going to mimic the B. And the bottom part is going to mimic this here, M. So there is our skeleton letters. That is what we're going for. You want to make sure that you have those on there and ready to go. Now we're going to zoom in so that it's easier to see. Remember, if you need to, highly suggest you slow this down because I am going through this at a much quicker pace than we do in class. All right, we're going to start off up here at our top guideline. See how you can see it a little bit better because of our zoom in with the camera there. We're going to make a line up here. It's going to have a longer line down here. You're going to have a shorter line here. Right next to it, just a little bit down, not very much, we are going to be making this other line. All of these letters have things that mimic each other. This is what mimics this. There's a diagonal that connects that on this line that goes down here. So there is the top part of our letter. Only the beginning and the end, the R down here at the other end, will have this here mark on this side. The rest of them will all be on the right. You will see when we get there. We are going to draw our line that's for the backbone of our letter all the way down. Now I'm going to stop right about here, and I'm going to decide, yes, this is the height that I'm going to have all of the bottom inside cutouts of my D's and B's out, and then all my E's and C's, they're going to line up their bottom inside area with this line also. So it's a vital line. So I'm going to then take it and draw it straight over. I'm going to draw a little guideline because, well, it helps me make sure I know where I'm going. I can take my ruler and very lightly draw it all the way across. So I have that guideline for the whole thing. It makes life easier. So I am then going to erase my inside skeleton because it is in the way and I don't need it. No use having something that you don't need. Make sure this is a perpendicular line, it doesn't go past. We are going to go back up here to this here area and we are going to follow that same curve. So it comes down and connects. Sorry for autofocus. This here connects at the bottom, following that guideline. This here is a little curve that's going to kick back. And this is a curve that's going to connect here. This line I do like to keep up there a little bit. It is a style choice. It looks good. It helps draw your eye around the piece. The next thing we're going to do is erase my inside line, my inside skeleton. And I'm going to decide where the width of my lettering is going to be. So if I go here, making a guideline, that is going to be the inside part of my cutout. Now this here part is going to mimic this line. So we come here and down and then connect. There is my D. Okay. Next up, I'm going to fiddle with this a little bit because I want it to look nicer. Next up is our E. So we're over here again at the top, except for this time we're going to be a little bit over. You will make a lot of E's. All of these will have very much repeating designs. So throughout the whole thing, we're going to make a longer mark here and a shorter mark here. I have this here mark at the top. I'm going to use my ruler very gently again. Draw a line lightly going all the way across. This way I know the level of all of these marks. So this time it's not going to go further away. It's going to connect. And then now, instead of going straight down, I am going to curve out, curve in, and back in. So it gives that nice curve there. I'm going to erase my skeleton of my letter because I don't need it. Now, at this moment in time, it is very possible I'm going to run into my D. That's okay. So this is going to come here a little bit, and it's going to curve down. Over here, I'm going to have a curve up. I'm going to have a straight line that comes over here and a straight line that goes over here. Again, they're making right angles. That's my goal right now. This here, right here, is going to, I made it too long. I'm going to curve it right there. See, what happens. That's why we have erasers. That's why you should draw light. And then we're going to connect the bottom. Up here, we're going to make a nice little curve. So it is going to go right out here. And this here part of the letter is going to connect here. This here goes in. And then we're going to make a guideline right here so we know how wide our inside part of our E is. This line back here is going to mimic. So it's going to go up and then connect. Maybe not quite so harsh. And this one down here, this is my guideline. That's as low as it's going to be. So it's going to be going here and connecting there. There's my E. So note, you will do that twice more. Let's go on to the C. Again, we're moving the line over here. Longer line on the right, shorter line on the left, going a little bit below that guideline. This one comes over here. I'm going to erase my C because I don't need it anymore. I am just going to use the erased mark that I have. You can still kind of see it. Again, it's going to curve here, in, back out, and it's going to curve down. There's my C. Yeah, it went behind my E. That's okay. Again, we're going to go here, same as before. Connect the bottom. Do the same mark just as before. This comes over exactly like we did with the E. This here's a little curve back. This here is also going to be just like the E. Comes out and around. Then we're going to connect our inside here. It's going to go up, mimic that shape. Then it's going to come down and up. Note, my inside is going straight to that line also, so it all looks the same. The idea with lettering is to make it look good. You have repeating patterns and ideas. And then there's that backwards. All right, let's move on to the E. Another E. Long mark up here. Long mark here. Shorter mark here, still going past that line. Line on that guideline again. And it's going to go back, forward, and curve around. I'm going to erase my skeleton because, again, it's in the way and I don't need it anymore. Erase the whole thing. This one here is going to curve out. It's going to go a little bit behind the C, not a whole lot. Over here again, the same curve. Line that's right here. Connecting this bottom line. This here is the line that's going to be right here. Connect this curve right there. Again, here's this curved line right here. Comes around and up. We're going to make our guide right here so we know where we're at. It's going to go up, mimic, and connect. Again, this one here, down, touch that line, up. There you go. There's your E. All right, the M. Note, my M, it got a little bit over. That's okay. I can just draw my idea guideline right here, a little bit over. More than likely, I'll scoot things over as I'm going because I have more than enough space. If you don't, that's okay. We'll make it all work. Letters can go behind each other. Up here at the top, over to the right, you're going to make a mark here and a mark over here. So yeah, I'm going a little bit further over. That's okay. Longer mark here. Longer mark here. Shorter mark here. Shorter mark here. Use the guide. Using the guide. This one's going to have a straight line back here. And this one's going to have a straight line back here. There's those. Now I'm going to look at my actual outside edge of my M leg. So I'm going to make a line. I'm going to sketch it out first where I want it. I'm going to erase my skeleton because I don't need it. So that's going to be that one. This same line that I have here before, I'm going to use it as a guide. I'm going to have this here go straight down, connect over to that line. I can now darken this line. And I do want it to come down a little bit. And then over here at the top, I'm going to bring it up just a little bit and connect that curve. We're going to go over here and decide this is a nice length for my width of my leg of my M. I'm going to go over on this side and go just a little bit higher. Not too much. See, I made a mistake there. I was going to go a little wider. Didn't. Connect my bottom. This here is going to be a line that's going to swoop up there. Now I'm going to be doing the inside part. I'm going to bring this up just a scotch more. And I'm going to have my V that comes down. Small little notch. And V that comes up. I'm going to have over here the same thing. A V that comes down. There's no notch between it. And it comes back up. This here curves down, connects. This here curves down and connects. For over here, we're doing those same curves. I'm going to erase part of my B skeleton letter. I don't need it. So it's going to come here. We're going to start this way. And then we're going to come out. We're going to mimic that same line right here. It's going to follow that same S curve. It's a lazy S. This here's a line that's going to swoop down and connect there in that curve. We're going to make this here the same height over here as the one before. This is also going to sweep up and connect. That's a nice curve there. We are going to make this one over here just a scotch bit smaller and connect the bottom and then connect that curve right there. Note, I did run into my B. That's okay. I can move my B over. That is something I can easily do. It doesn't have to be right there. Sometimes we have to move our letters. So I'm going to draw my line right here for my B. I'll wind up moving my E over too. I'm just going to do that right now so it's easier for me. All right, so I gave myself some more space. All right, up here at the top, same with the guidelines. It's going to go over here, longer line right along that guideline. Line that comes down that's longer. Line that's shorter. Using that guideline, there's that part right there. I am then going to, that line that I drew for the back of my B is going to just be this one. I'm going to go down to that line. I'm going to make a line right there for it. If yours runs into your M, that's okay. There's my guide. We are going to go up here and do a line that comes down a little bit. And then this here curves down like that. Just as we've done before with this curve here, we're going to be doing that here. So it's going to come out and in. And we're going to do the exact same thing right here. So it's going to a little bit in and out, going down to that bottom guideline, connecting it, erasing my skeleton because I don't need it. We're going to draw a guideline on the inside. Note, I did not draw as hard as I could because I want to make sure that I have an area for it to erase because I'll have to erase part of it. This is going to connect back here. We're going to be following this line. So this is going to come out and follow that curve. Then we connect it here. We do have a line that goes up here because it looks like the letter shape is continuing. It's going to be over here too. So we're going to go here and bring it down this time. This is going to connect here and it's going to follow that guideline as before. Then we erase this little part. There is our B. It's not looking super, super like a B-ish right now, but it's close enough. All right, our E, last E. Again, long line up here, long line down, short line down. Using that guide, we're going to come out, back in, and curve right in there. I'm going to erase my skeleton again because I don't need it. And then we're going to do this. It's going to probably go behind my B, and that's okay. So here it goes, the curve. There it is. We're going to have this here part of the curve here. Connect our bottom. We're going to be going up here to make that same shape as before. It's that lazy S. It's going to come back up. We're going to make our guide here. Our R is in the way. We can move it over. We're going to have our little line that's up here. Connect here. This is going to go perpendicular to it, making that right angle. This is going to go up and follow that same curve. This is going to go down and again touching that line as we mimic things. And then we have a little kickback right there, a little curve. Now, our last letter, the R, I'm going to move mine over a little bit because, well, that'll be a really good idea. So there it is. There's that. Okay. Now, just as we said before, we're going to have this on this side. Note, it is important that we continue with that. So the beginning and ending of the letters. So we're going to have a line that goes here, longer one, line that's longer here, and a little short one here. We have our line that's going to follow that same guideline as before and connect with a little V. Then we're going to have the line that comes down. We are going to then make the back end of our R. I'm going to go up here all the way down to that guideline that we've had before. We drew it in earlier. We're going to have a straight line that goes that length and a straight line that goes there. We're going to go over here, and this one is going to be just slightly higher. This is the line that's going to go here. We're going to erase our skeleton because it just is not needed now. We're going to have a little kickback curve here, so it connects. So this is going to be this. Now note, you're going to want to draw lightly because we have to erase part of this. So there is that. Now we're going to work over here on this. Just as before with the B, we're going to have a line that curves in and out. And then just like we did with the M, this same S curve, it's going to go in and out. And I made mine very curvy. That's okay. We're going to mimic that same line in and out. Erase the other part of that there. Down here, I'm going to make a line that's not quite as tall as the one before. And I'm going to make one even shorter over here because I want that little kick. This line right here connects horizontally, and this one curves up. This one connects the bottom using that same guideline. Now, here's the part that makes it a little bit different. We're going to have a line that goes over here. Note, it is above and below. We're going to do a perpendicular line, and then we're going to curve it right there. Now, the reason we have this here is so that we can actually do this next part. It's going to mimic that same curve and connect back. So I can erase this inside part, darken this, and curve this up. That is the month of December. Now we're going to do the dates. So we want to make sure that we have all of our dates on there so that we know where we're going to be drawing. Erase your initial guide spacing letters so that they're not there. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to go start at the 0. We are going to again go over to the 2 3/4 inch, which is 2 and 3 of the long tick marks. We are then going to go over to the 5 1/2, which is 2 of the long tick marks. Move that down our paper to the bottom. Repeat those same measurements. 2 3/4, 5 1/2. Take our ruler, make the line, divide it into 3 spaces. Now, this is not perfect math, but it's close enough that our eyes are not wigging out from it not being exact. Then we're going to go like this. This is where we have our 0 line lined up with the guideline, and we're going to make a mark at the 2, the 4, and the 6. One more time over here at the 2, the 4, and the 6. So we are going to, again, draw our guidelines here and here and here. We are then going to get our dates. Remember, we are only drawing on the front. The dates are the Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in December. So we are going to have date number 1, 2, 3 for the top row. Dates 4, 8, and 9 for the second row. Dates 10, 11, and 15 for the third row. The bottom row is going to be 16, 17, and 18. So that is the numbers for this here month. There they all are. We're going to flip this happy thing over, and we are going to create 3 spaces. Do they have to be equal? No, they just need to be 3 spaces because there are 3 Fridays in the month of December that we'll be drawing. So there's our straight line. I'm just going to divide it in half. There's my stuff. I'm a little crooked. That's okay. My dates for this are going to be 5, 12, and 19. That is how you create the month of December. Good job. Remember, slow it down so that you can keep up.